Mike, what is recognition?
Recognition is the art of catching people doing something right and letting them know that you value them.
Welcome to It Doesn't Take a Genius.
Ramsey!
Solid stuff. Tell me more, Mike. Tell me more.
That's such a simple definition, right? The art of catching people doing something right. So you got to see it,
Yep.
right? You got to, right? Automatically, when you think of catch, you think the negative, right? I'm going to catch him doing something wrong. I'm going to catch him making a mistake. I'm going to catch it. Like, no, you can actually catch them doing it right. Like we talked about in training and we strategized around and we practiced and you're doing the thing and it's beautiful. So I got to see it. And as we have figured out by coaching managers and leaders around this, is that it's the two-part process. You got to see it, and then you got to say something.
I can't just stop at seeing it and going, duly noted, self.
Yeah. Note to self, that was nice. And then go on my merry way. So, and we figured that out. We would ask managers, we'd start a managers meeting with, all right, so tell me some bright spots. Tell me some things your people are doing well. Right. And then managers would be like, oh, yeah, Joe, he stayed late and helped this person. They were on vacation, their car broke down. Or this guy, he coached another guy up and he talked him off the ledge and now everybody's fine. And they were like, oh, that's fantastic. And we took for granted that they were like telling the people, thank you.
Yep.
For doing these things. Yep. And so we started asking. It turned out to be an assumptive close question. So how did they react when you thanked them for doing that?
Well,
I was real busy. I was just passing through. He doesn't work for me. He's in another department.
Right.
So
I can't tell him.
Yeah, I'm not his manager. You're like, no. There's two parts to the thing. You got to see it and then say it. See it, say it.
See it, say it.
And so, the idea of, it doesn't count unless I let them know that I observed that behavior. It's what we were looking for, and we're much appreciative. And with the goal of, and there are many goals, right? So when you think about what are the benefits of doing this, right? Fosters positive attitudes.
Sure.
I want people to be excited about. And then the one that as a manager, you should be most excited about is it reinforces desired behaviors.
Yeah. This is the thing we'd like to see more of.
Yeah. What's rewarded gets repeated.
Yep.
So if I want more of it, just say thank you when you see it. Communicates what you value to those doing the right things.
Mm-hmm.
So when the other people see you thank somebody for doing something, hey, I saw you walking across the parking lot and I picked up some trash. And the other people are standing there like, I walked by some trash. And I just walked by it. Yes. Yeah. That those are the things that I want you to do. By thanking somebody, you're having that conversation without getting on the people who are not doing it. But you're reinforcing, you're recommunicating. This is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, and it's so good because it's specific to a thing. It's specific to an activity. We years ago we heard from our friend and colleague Thad Bartlett, the AID method, action, impact, desire for the future. And we've talked about it many times on the podcast. I think your friend and my friend too, but you knew him for a long time, Gary Minor. He had a great way of putting it. Action. Here's what I saw you do. Impact. Here's why it's important. Desire for the future. Thanks. Keep it up. Like it's that simple, right? We can do this very quickly and get to a very specific thing: picking up the trash, how you responded to a lead, how you did, a double check on your processes, whatever it is. It doesn't matter as long as it's important to the organization. And there's a fringe benefit here, which is this is truly the opposite of empty praise. I know that there's something I do that brings value. I know that I feel more valuable because I know there's things I'm doing that bring value here, and I know specifically what those things are. This isn't just like, you guys are doing a great job, which happens at a lot of places that I've gone to. I think we've talked about this on the podcast before that I actually had a store where they had graffiti where people would write to each other the initials of what the owner would say, because he always said the same phrase, and it was just sort of an empty phrase, that he would just say like, "Yeah, boy, you guys are doing great, doing a lot of great stuff there,"
Yeah.
and he didn't know what it was.
Oh yeah, and that feels empty, and we'll talk a little bit about that, right? Why some managers don't do it,
Mm,
and so yeah, if I want more of the desired behavior, and it could take 3 seconds. Hey,
yeah,
I saw you get the door for that customer. Thanks.
yep,
Like 4 seconds, maybe 3 seconds tops, right?
Yep.
But now they know, yeah, getting the door, proactively serving customers in a very specific way.
Yep.
Is what we're looking for.
Yep.
And it's worth giving a shout out to. So one of the other things that works for this is it makes your corrective conversations more powerful.
Yeah.
Too much of either one, too much recognition or too much correcting is bad.
Yep.
If all you ever do is tell me when I'm screwing up, after a while, wah, 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 wah.
Yep.
Like he's never happy. Nothing I do works here.
Yep.
It's just depressing. And so eventually they quit listening to you. On the other side, and we see this much more rarely, but the person where everything is rainbows, butterflies, and unicorns,
Yep.
after a while, you're like, I don't know that he's serious. Like nothing can be this good all the time. You're great. You're fantastic. You're amazing. I can't be honest. It's like, no, you have to, there has to be some balance to it. And so if I'm giving praise and recognition when it comes time to say, hey, this behavior needs to change, or this was unacceptable, then it means more.
Our mentor, Greg Tansky, says your yeses mean nothing if you don't say no once in a while.
Oh, absolutely.
Same principle here, right? Like, you're doing great. You're doing great. You're doing great. Now, I see something on this one. I got an idea for you that would correct things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening now.
Oh, yeah. I'm seeing that. Yeah, you're gonna tell me either way.
Yeah.
And I had that conversation with my daughter. I was telling her something positive, and she sees me as kind of a positive person.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was like, you're just saying that because you're one of them positive people, and you have to say it because you're my dad. Like, okay, that's fair. I said, all right, so do I tell you when you're screwing up?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, you tell me when I'm on the wrong path or not doing, what I should be doing. I said, so if you can believe me when I tell you those things, you have to believe me when I tell you you're doing good.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
It's true, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
it's truthfulness. I'll be straight with you. I'll tell you when it's a problem and when it's great.
Yeah, and so it comes so easy to us to find the negative.
Yeah.
To want to fix the incorrect. We neglect sometimes the positive. And you look at what's the impact of this? The Gallup organization, they poll all these companies that are successful and some that are not. And one of the things they found was at any given company, it's not uncommon for employees to feel that their best efforts are routinely ignored. Further, employees who do not feel adequately recognized are twice as likely to say they'll quit in the next year.
Yeah.
And I think this is more profound or more pronounced with this younger generation.
Yeah.
I think, in my day, right, I'm right on the line between boomer and X. But in my day, yeah, if you worked for a toxic boss or a very negative place, what you did was you worked there all day and then you came back the next day.
Yep.
And you took your beatings
Yep.
and you came back the next day and you took another beating. And we just did that, right?
Right.
Builds character.
Right.
Yeah, there were some very build character type opportunities in the day. These young people, they want the same thing we wanted, which was to be treated with dignity and respect and
Yeah.
to feel valued. The only difference between Gen X boomers and these younger generations is the younger generation, if these things aren't present in the workplace, as Gallup tells us,
I'm out.
as the kids say, they ghost you. You've been ghosted, right? Where'd Billy Ray go? I don't know. He went to lunch, never came back,
He's done.
never said anything, never like, yeah, they're just, I don't have to put up with this.
And
And
spend
I'm
all
not going to put up with this.
yeah, spend all the time you want on, they don't have loyalty, sure, but we're telling you how to fix it, right? If you'll give more recognition, your people will feel more valued and know they're part of the train. Another issue that this will solve, by the way, is the high flying employees who are starting to get resentful and frustrated because they know that their great effort is not appreciated and lower performing employees are tolerated at their level. And so this is a way for you to separate the good performers who are in danger of ghosting you from the lower employees who, maybe they're just not as high a performer, but maybe they don't care, right? They're not engaged in some way. This is a way for you to keep a hold of your high performers by, recognizing them so they know that they make a difference here.
Oh yeah. In another Gallup study, the Gallup organization, when they studied the highest performing organizations, the managers in the highest performing organization spent 50%, 50% of their time with their high performers, coaching, recognizing, appreciating, gathering ideas,
Yep.
and when you look at most managers, we find that it's flipped. They spend 50% or more of their time with the problem employees, the ones
Yep.
who aren't doing what they're supposed to do, and they seldom interact with their top people.
Yep.
And you live in Kentucky. I work down there every now and then, and so the phrase I hear in that part of the world is, "I just let my thoroughbreds run."
You do not hear that.
I let my horses run.
I refuse to believe you hear that.
I do. I have heard that. Yes. Yeah. I let my horses run. And then I'm over here working with these clowns.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the scenario plays out. We ignore the horses. Our thoroughbreds are left to their own device. And we don't know anything's wrong until they give us their 2-week notice.
Right.
And then the manager gives an honest reply to the 2-week notice. And he says, or she says, "I had no idea anything was wrong."
Yep. Damning. A
Yeah.
damning thing to say.
Yeah. That's on you, brother.
Yep.
That's a you thing, girlfriend.
Yep.
So, yeah, you knew nothing was wrong. You didn't know about any of my frustrations or struggles because you hadn't been interacting with me.
Right. Right.
And you can't have any more fun as a manager. If you're feeling bad as a manager, go hang out with your top performing people. And the coaching question is so much fun. You're killing it. You're having a great month. How are you doing it?
Yep.
Tell me what you're doing, man. This is amazing. And let them talk. And now you're gathering good ideas and you're reinforcing the behaviors and you're recognizing that they are doing a fantastic job.
Yeah. And the good energy is going to feed good energy. I mean, it's going to be a not a vicious cycle, a virtuous cycle, having those conversations, because more good is going to come out of that. That's going to lead to more conversations like that. That's going to lead to great ideas and improvement.
Oh yeah. Well, when you look at right, you talk to managers and they are all nodding their heads. Yeah. No, this recognition thing, this is good stuff. I believe what you're saying. Then you say, all right, so why don't you do it?
Mm-hmm.
Things like, I don't think I have time.
Mm-hmm.
And like we demonstrated, 3 seconds, I can call out a positive behavior. Um, it'll make me look soft or weak.
Mm-hmm.
I crack the whip around here.
Right.
If I go around giving pats on the back, yeah,
Everybody's going to slack off.
yeah,
Somehow.
they're gonna, quit fearing me. Well, maybe they would, and that might be a good thing. They won't take me as seriously.
Mm.
Right. It feels frivolous to tell people thank you and I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate you and things like that. Uh, we hear this one from guys who are really not looking for it. There's not much to recognize around here.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And we hear this from organizations, businesses, departments that are wildly successful.
Yep.
Right. They're turning a profit, they're doing good stuff. And there's hundreds of times per day that there are behaviors occurring that are worthy of calling out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're just not seeing them. Yeah, and my favorite, and we don't get this as much. We used to get this more, well, we pay them. Used to get that one a lot. Well, they get a paycheck. That's their recognition. That's their thanks.
If you want to raise, work harder.
Yeah. You want praise or recognition? Yeah. We pay you. That's
Yeah.
Cash your check. And so the idea that the money should solve everything. Well, the money is just the ante for the bare necessity of what was performed.
Yeah.
But if I want the above, right, the idea that you can't order or pay for excellence.
Mm-hmm.
That you have to get people to give of their discretionary effort, that extra effort that's where larger success, larger excellence is. That comes from recognition and paying attention to people.
Yeah.
And then the one we hear probably most frequently was, "I wasn't raised or coached that way,"
Which is probably true.
Oh yeah. The our wonderful friend Pamela Cole, she's got the phrase, "I was raised by wolves."
Yeah.
So if I was raised by wolves and it worked out for me, then the same system should work out for my team members.
Yeah.
And what we find is that there's a smaller percentage of people whom that system works for.
Right.
And it was never good. And just in this modern day and age, it's worse. And there, all you have to do is look at your professional coaches. Where they were 20, 25 years ago, the grab the helmet, smack them upside the head, toss a chair, tirades everywhere. Those guys are all gone.
Yeah.
And they've been replaced by guys who win championships, but do it in an engaging, balanced manner that fits the style of today's team members, young people, employees.
Yeah, we have talked about DISC, and it's almost like you were just managing to a certain DISC style, and it was probably whatever style you had. And now we're suggesting, there's some things you can do to adapt your leadership to where you apply to other DISC styles. One of those ways is more recognition. That's, truly calling out specific things people are doing and doing it on a regular basis and doing it well. Is there a way to make sure you're doing that in a way that doesn't feel fake, Mike?
Oh yeah. And we see that with the managers who come up with the excuse they won't believe me.
Yeah.
And so what you find is their method is too vague. You referenced that earlier.
Yep.
You guys are killing it this week.
Yeah.
You guys are amazing. Unbelievable job.
See you later.
Yeah, gotta go. Like, what did we do?
Yeah.
There was literally thousands of behaviors that went into whatever this week was. Which ones are you specifically shouting out that we need to make sure don't fall off the radar, or even that we double down on? So
well, and what makes that so terrifying is instead of just leaving those people neutral, like we don't know, what if they make the wrong assumption? What if
Oh
they
yeah.
think it's one of the other things that they're doing, like something where they're cutting corners?
Oh yeah. Wow. I left early twice this week. He said this week was amazing. I should leave early more often.
Right.
This is a great idea. Yeah. Yeah. Genius move. Look at me. I'm leaving even earlier and more frequently.
This is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Yeah. I figured out what you want. So the idea, yeah, if you're gonna give praise, recognition, make it specific. Right. What is the thing specifically? Right. Make it meaningful.
Yep.
And that goes back into tying it back to what, how does it contribute to the greater good?
Yep.
It's intentional and it's personal.
Hmm.
This feedback could only relate to me and
Yeah.
something that I specifically done. So when you say, "Hey, I saw you stayed late last night and took care of that customer," nobody else in the building was here. So I know this is specific, it's meaningful because we've talked about how important customers are. I'm being intentional that I'm having this conversation with you, and it's personal because the situation I'm describing applies to no one else in our organization.
Love it.
Man, so now yeah, I got something, right? Because now it doesn't feel trite or vague or frivolous in its nature.
So specific, meaningful, intentional, personal. Did I
Yep.
get that?
Yep, those are the four.
SMIP.
Yep. So SMIP. Yep, definitely. And then one of the things that we talk about um, is the difference between recognition and appreciation.
Yeah.
And so some people really struggle with this. So they wait to recognize somebody. So you recognize people for what they do. And this is easy, right? They stayed late and helped the customer. They're number one in sales for the month. They have the most, the highest, the least, right? They're at the top of some category that you're measuring. It's easy to say, "Oh yeah, you were the number one sales guy last week. Yeah, congratulations." Yeah, pretty easy. Appreciation is you appreciate people for who they are.
Hmm.
And this one requires more effort because many times those people aren't there yet. They're not leading the board. They're not setting a personal best and things like that, but they're displaying all the characteristics that A, you want, and B, that will get them to success.
Hmm.
And so appreciate you for who you are could be, I know you didn't have the month that you wanted to have last month, but what I saw was you never quit, you were persistent, and you kept doing the things that we asked you to do.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And if you keep doing those things, you will be successful.
Yeah.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I know you're not there, but you're displaying the values, the attributes that we are looking for.
I have a client, I'll use their name, Jack Kane Ford in Versailles, Kentucky, outside of Lexington. Phenomenal dealership, family owned. And years ago, you and I were part of the Ford Consumer Experience movement. We were coaches that parachuted into stores and helped them on a regular basis. And one year they gave us a trophy that had a star on it. And they said, take this to your store, use it in some way. Well, I had one store that ran with it. And it just points out how strong their culture is about recognition. They already had a monthly potluck where they all got together and recognized, the sales leader and the employee of the month and so on and so forth. And they said, great, this is awesome. We get to add one more trophy to hand out for our potlucks and put it on social media and so on. And it's the Star Award. It doesn't necessarily mean that the person had a big accomplishment, right? We've already recognized the sales leader, right? We've already done that. It's I think they do Technician of the Month as well. But now we're recognizing just something where we saw some effort, we saw something happen that absolutely is the kind of thing we want to see happen around here. And you're a star. This month you are a star. So they're really good about that. I'll try to add a image of one of their most recent Facebook posts about how they brag about these people. But it is a well received award. Let me just say that. This is something that feels special to people to be recognized in this way, and that's the point, right? I've been recognized. Somebody out there seeing what I'm doing. This feels really good.
Oh yeah. Well, and the object really doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It was a generic trophy with a star on top of it.
that's right.
But the meaningfulness behind it was specific, it was personal,
That's
it
right.
was meaningful. So yeah, now the object becomes a physical representation of that desired behavior.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah. All right. So a lot of good stuff. We could talk for another hour on this.
Yep.
But I want to end up with one of my favorite quotes from Leo Biscaglia. And Leo said, "The majority of us lead quiet, unheralded lives as we pass through this world. There will most likely be no ticker tape parades for us, no monuments created in our honor, but that does not lessen our possible impact. For there are scores of people waiting for someone just like us to come along, people who will appreciate our compassion and our unique talents, someone who will live a happier life merely because we took time to share what we had to give. Too often we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, an honest compliment, or the smallest act of caring, all of which have the potential to turn a life around. It's overwhelming to consider the continuous opportunities there are to make our love felt."
Beautiful. Beautiful. You just don't know what the impact is in the
Mhm.
moment sometimes,
Oh, yeah.
but all of us can do it.
Yep. Everybody has the power. And if you're in a leadership position, your power is magnified.
Yep. Yep.
So use it wisely.
Well, someone whose words have meant a lot to me over the years is our announcer. And I feel like we should turn it over to him at this point.
Excellent. And hopefully he'll be accompanied by a ukulele solo.
Thank you for recognizing me.
My pleasure.
And that's a wrap. The musings of Mark and Mike. No rights reserved, etc. Feel free to share and discuss what you heard today. Even claim the ideas as your own. Who'd want to do that? See you next time on It Doesn't Take a Genius. Thanks.
That's good enough.